Alright, so in this video we're going to go over a quick sample into contract management. So before we go into the sample, first we just want to reiterate the fact that really it's up to you in terms of the process you create, but the reality is that contracts are your primary customer. They control your patients and where they go and the rates in which you get paid. So you want to develop an annual process to manage that relationship. As you become increasingly valuable to your payers, you can capture that value in your rates. And as you increase the number of payers interested in working with you, if you ever find yourself in a negotiation where a payer really just can't afford to pay you the rate you need to successfully run your business, you'll have another payer interested in joining, and it'll help you with that negotiation. So this process here is broken up into 4 quarters. This could be monthly. You could segment it into halves, so maybe you just have 2 separate sections. It's really up to you and your group. This is just a sample to get that discussion going for you. So here in Q1, the idea would be to have operational improvement meetings. So what you want to first do is understand which are your most important payers, and you could do this via the cost of loss, or basically what is the cost of losing this payer to the bottom line? How much do they impact the bottom line? Once you have an idea of your most important payers, you then want to set up time with them to discuss their operational challenges. And once you've met with all of them and you have an idea of what all the challenges are, you should look to develop a roadmap to tackle the key issues that are really going to help increase the value across all your payers. One note here is as you create these solutions, whether those be technical or operational improvements, you want to make sure that you control the value there. And the idea here is if your payer decides not to re-sign you, they shouldn't benefit from what you built. Now there's going to be exceptions, and there's going to be times when you can't necessarily control all the value, but just as a general rule, you want to make sure that you control a portion of that value at least. Moving into Q2, here you want to set up meetings with your payers to review basically performance. So what's patient flow looking like? What projects did you decide to work on, and how is that going to improve their overall operation? How's the revenue cycle looking for this specific payer? Are they paying you on time? Are they paying you quickly? Are they paying you correctly? And that jumps into reimbursement rates. Once you have that finished planned again, also you'd probably want to update your provider package and send that to all insurances, as that's going to really help you, number one, communicate what you're working on, and then hopefully attract more and more contracts to assist you in your negotiations. Whether you do this in Q3 or not, the reality is anything you set out to do and you communicated out that you were going to complete, you're going to want to make sure you finish those projects on time. You want to make sure that in the long run, insurances or payers really trust that you're going to complete what you said you were going to do, as that's going to reflect again itself in the rates that you have. So set up time to do that, whether that be Q3 or whether that be every other month. You set up time to finish those projects. It really just depends on, again, what's your bandwidth within your staff to complete these kind of projects. You also want to make sure that you wrap up your negotiation with new contracts and existing contracts to give you ample time to prepare for the upcoming year. So coming into Q4, let's say at this point you have all your negotiations completed and it's time to sign those contracts. You want to make sure you have a strong contract logic based off of your cost structure and your net income targets. So you'll have to go through the process there of understanding what your cost structure is and understanding if we're looking to make 10% net income, what do our contract rates need to be at? So that's an analysis to complete. Once you have that completed, you could decide, all right, these are the existing contracts we're re-signing, these are the new contracts we're bringing in. You're going to want to prepare for those contracts that are coming in, and then really, again, just avoid having any project carrying over into the next year. It's okay to have multi-year projects if that was part of the plan, but again, you want to try to keep to your timeline. Again, your processes will likely be different. This is just a sample. If you want support in that development of your process, feel free to reach out, and we can help. All right, thanks.